Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for braving everything that's been happening and coming and joining us today for our Ho-Onko service. This is the service to remember Shinran Shonin, but I notice in our program it says it's also a gathering to express our indebtedness and thankfulness, not just to him, but I think at this point it's to everybody who has been reaching out and helping everybody that has lost something or someone in this last fire. The outpouring of generous donations and well wishes has been overwhelming for those of us at the temple. So thanks to everybody. Not just from our Sangha, but we've had all the other temples in Southern District and even nationally who have been supporting us. So we have a lot of support from a lot of different people from a lot of different places. So thank you. So at this time, I'm going to have Sensei do the pronouncement of service.
Yeah, thank you, Jeannie. And I will chant Sanbujo along with pronouncing the service, and then I'll ask you all to join me for Sanbutsuge. Today, on this occasion of the year 2025, Ho-Onko service, the members of the Pasadena Buddhist Temple and our friends have gathered in reverence and repeat our reliance upon the three treasures of the truth. We rely upon the Buddha, we rely upon the Dharma, we rely upon the Sangha. Namanabitsu, Namanabitsu. We will then chant Sanbujo, inviting the presence of all positive persons and forces. Bujo Mida Nyorai Niundo Jo Sange Bujo Shaka Nyolai Niundo Jo San Ge Bujo Jipo Nyoi Niundo Jo Son Ge La Busetsu, Daimuryo, Jukyo, Sanbutsuge, Kogen Gigi, Ijin Mugoku, Myode Enmyo, Muyo Tosha, Nichigatmani, 主公遠慮開始のんぺ有脈樹木如来予言調整無輪小学大音交流実法開門精進断枚知恵意徳無量修正経由人体連年小仏崩壊空人人の空言外体無名欲ぬ定尊読む人の死死人徳無量空君広大知恵人妙光明意図神道大戦単型仏大正法華道生じ未不下脱不定上位開任精進妙税三昧知恵以上合成特仏不行志願一切空空一切大安決しう仏百千億万無量大小修行王者供養一切使徒小仏不尿愚道天正不逆非尿王者小仏世界不不影無臭節道法名師匠天使小国妙霊精進異人難量両が差仏国土第一五種奇妙道場超絶国女内音二無闘争ガト愛民道達一切七宝来生新熱少女糸が国経楽安穏公仏神妙税が神聖突願の日力小小欲実法生存知恵無下上領子孫死が信行軽量心死食毒中画行精進人寿系ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしく毒平等性一切ど本もない真恩よあらナマンダブルマンダナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブルマンダナモアミル仏ナモアミル仏ナモアミル仏ナマンダブツナマンダブツ
Thank you. Next, we're going to have Ho-Onko by our representatives. So if we can have somebody come up from Dharma School. Diego. Thank you, Santos. They can do the other side too, yeah. Sangha teens. Our junior YBA is not here because they're meeting Oxnard, so if I can have a representative from the Buddhist Women's Association. Pasadena Buddhist Temple. Thank you. Next, we'll sing together, Shinran Sama on page 154. So if you are able to, please rise, open up your books, and let's sing together.
Windows open to the dawn, gentle breezes blow, hands together mindfully in the evening sky fades away from my sight when clouds and mists roll by. Namo Amida Butsu, clear Amida's name, Shinran is my guide when storms hide the stars, holding up the light of wisdom, he stands by my side. Thank you very much. Please be seated. That's one of those songs that has a lot of instrumental breaks, you know, solo, organ solos.
Sensei, should we read the tradition of Shinran, or?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to read that, or do you want me to read it?
You could read it.
I'll
but
read
it's-
it, sure.
it's- Okay.
Yeah. This is a translation of the Godensho, traditionally read at Ho-Onko. The tradition of the observance of Ho-Onko. During the second week of January each year, the Nishionganji temples throughout Japan and the world commemorate the life of Shinran Shonin by conducting special services on the anniversary of his death. Nembutsu followers from all over Japan make a pilgrimage to Kyoto at this time to attend many beautiful services and all-night Dharma talks. The life of Shinran Shonin becomes a part of our own life as we are brought to realize that the life which we have been allowed to receive is indeed a life which includes all living things. It is a life embraced always by the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha's original fundamental vow. The life of Shinran Shonin is a life of Namo Amida Butsu. When we come to realize that our life too is the life of Namo Amida Butsu, we will know intimately the life of Shinran Shonin. And I think we flow right from here into the Dharma message. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, so that's what I will do next is we will exclude the Sunday school children, the Dharma school children, and those who need to be with them to go next door for our Dharma school event, because as we just said, you know, this is an all-night talk, so I promise not to go all night, but they are doing that in Japan right now.
So kiddos, you have the first pick of the donuts.
That's right. First hit of the donuts and all the many items that have been given us. And you know, many friends have given us items that we might need because we've all been a little inconvenienced. You don't have to be living on the street. Take something if you can use it. Take something if you can use it. Well, again, good morning. Thank you for being here. We're all still here. No one has gone away. We've lost no temple members to the fires and the floods and the winds and all the terrors that are striking us. About 15 of our members have lost their homes or their businesses, and their wedding photos, every memento, every trace of the life they knew. Just horrible, terrible thing. It really is. This is a terrible thing that's happened. We're all somewhat traumatized. If you didn't know it, you are. We're all walking around a bit in a daze, you know. So although this is our Ho-Onko service, our service commemorating the passing of our denominational founder, Shinran Shonin, I won't give a traditional Ho-Onko Dharma message, nor will I focus entirely on our founder Shinran and exclusively on our school of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. I will mention the key concern that drove Shinran to establish this school of Buddhism, to open this gate to the Dharma. And every year I remind you and myself that Shinran was concerned with greater inclusivity. The Dharma was already being passed out in rather small vessels for 1,800 years when Shinran came along, and about the same time he and others saw that we needed to open the gates of the Dharma more broadly. So about 800 years ago, Shinran, Honen, Dogen, Nichiren, Seikaku, a bunch of Japanese teachers focused on the poor and the working classes. The funny way they did this was to write very complicated books, you know. That's the way life is, you know. They spent most of their time writing complicated books, but then they went and spoke to people who were migrant farm workers. The majority of our original members in Japan were migrant farm workers. Shinran was one of those who felt the need to open out the floodgates of the Dharma for everyone, to make the Buddha Dharma accessible to everyone, to make Buddhism, in one form or another, accessible to all. And what they made accessible, the Buddha Dharma, is enduring. Houses are not enduring. We human beings have been here about 250,000 years, roughly 250,000 years. Every time they get a new, anthropological thing, it goes a little older. I think it's, 225 now? About 250,000 years we've been here. And I looked this up where I wouldn't know. But you know how old the oldest house on Earth is? It's about 7,000 years old, somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 years old. So we've been here for 250,000 years, but the oldest house is 7,000 years old. So if you'd lived forever, you would have been without your house now for about 249,000 years and 249,093 years, something like that. Long time. The house I lived in from birth until the age of 4 in Santa Rosa was burned down in fires about 7, 8 years ago. So it's gone. The house I lived in Watsonville from age 4.5 to 7 fell apart during the earthquakes in 1989. The home we lived in Portland we had to let go of because of financial hardships. I love those homes, but they're not ours anymore. Houses are impermanent. I hope you can keep yours throughout your life and pass them on to your children and your grandchildren. But about 6,000 to 7,000 years from now, it's going to be gone, even if we do everything right. Houses are impermanent. That extraordinary wind and those awful fires harmed all of us to some degree, and harmed some of us grievously. We don't entirely know what to do. We don't entirely know what to feel. Allow me to quote a Vipassana meditation teacher. Like you all heard me tell you that Buddhism comes to this continent from 3 places. Ethnic communities, which then become not exclusively ethnic, like ours, or teachers that came from Asia to teach on their own. Be careful with those guys. Or North Americans who went to Asia and studied and came back. Those people are remarkably reliable. The fact that they were so motivated to move to Asia and study for some years, they tend to be reliable. And I'll quote one of them. I don't know how reliable he is overall, but I like what he had to say here. Vipassana teacher Jack Kornfeld. He's went along with a couple of my friends and some people I haven't met yet to Thailand about 55 years ago and studied Vipassana meditation. Here's what he has to say about dealing with stressful situations. If you can sit quietly after difficult news, if in financial downturns you can remain perfectly calm, if you can see your neighbors travel to fantastic places without a twinge of jealousy, if you can eat happily whatever is put on your plate, if you can fall asleep after a day of running around without a drink or a pill, if you can always find contentment right where you are, you're probably a dog. It's not human. Human beings can't live like that. The Buddha didn't live like that. The Shakyamuni Buddha's nation, Magadha, was overrun by enemy forces during his life. And his students spoke to him, and he told them, I feel very sad about this. He didn't go, oh, well, it's just a nation state. No, that was his home, and it's gone now, and his father was probably killed, you know. He was disturbed, just like all of us are, by these winds and fires and all that has come from it. We can't be composed and feel happy all the time. We just can't. But we also should not have to slip into a permanent depression. We don't want to slip into the inaction that comes with depression. Sadness is impermanent too. Everything's impermanent, including sadness. The vow of the Buddha, the promise to all of us, of the enlightened persons, the vow of the Buddha is not impermanent. We Buddhists encounter luminosity and truth basically in three forms. We talk about it all the time: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha is a sparkling, inclusive subjectivity that takes us into itself as itself. The Buddha is real. Enlightenment is not impermanent. The Buddha Amida draws us into enlightenment, into an awakening that is not impermanent. The Dharmic principles that the Buddha shares with us are not impermanent. We see the truth of those coming around again and again. The Sangha, our community, is persistent. We are persistent. There are roughly 1 billion Buddhists on this planet. Just on this planet, about 1 billion. There are several million Buddhists in the United States. The numbers vary from about 1.5 million to about 10 million, depending on who you ask, but there are several million Buddhists in the United States. They are all part of our community, part of our Sangha. There's about 12,000 Jodo Shinshu Honganji Ha Nishi Honganji style Nembutsu followers here in the United States amongst our 60 member temples. And our temple now is 75 to 100 members, 90 to 125. We're relatively small, but we are strong. And you are part of this community. You are not alone. You are not alone. If you have suffered losses and been traumatized by these disasters, remember that you are part of a large, intersecting, interconnected group of communities. We have all been deeply saddened by these horrific events, but we also remain members of several interlocking communities. We are not alone. Here in our annex, we have snacks and water and clothing and toiletries. If it can be any help to you, take it. Again, we're being given these things by our friends in our larger communities to help us. You don't have to be living on the street. We've all been knocked. If there's something there that can help you, get it. Take it home. Most of those goods were given us by the members of the Orange County Buddhist Church, but some of our members have brought them as well. Some of our friends at the Presbyterian Church up the way have helped us. So thank you all very much. We have gift cards for department stores and restaurants next door. We've given out about 3/4 of them, but we still have some, and there are more on the way. Most of those cards were like to Target were given us by the members of the Buddhist Temple of San Diego. And as we realize now that when these disasters come up, you realize you start to learn how to do things. Kathy has set up a fund for us, and we are getting funds from, as Jeannie mentioned, from all over the country, all over the world. People are giving us funds, and Kathy will figure out how to disperse those. I'm not going to have any. We will. The board will figure out how to disperse those funds to the needy. Right now, we're collecting funds and trying to give out these gift cards. We gave out 3/4 of them. Come get them if you can use them. Come get them if you can use them. That Eaton Fired Fund has been, again, collecting funds from all over the country, and not just for those who lost their homes and businesses, for those who have been displaced, inconvenienced, harmed, and traumatized by these recent events. We're still receiving donations, and I think that Eden Fire Fund that Kathy Akumagai set up for us is going to go over 30,000. I predict to go over 30,000 before it's closed. It is a limited thing because we have to manage it. And we think there are gift cards, more gift cards coming in from all over. Money and goods, gifts continue to come in from around the country, from around the world, from the various enduring communities in which we participate. Please receive some of these goods if you can use them. There's no giving without receiving. This is really important. Sometimes we get so pious you don't want to take anything. Sometimes the most decent thing to do is say yes, thank you. You know, I don't think anybody knows who this is, so I can tell this anecdote now. One of the ministers, when he retired, was given a brand new car, and he said, "No, I can't take that." Well, you know, as soon as they drove that car off the lot, it lost like $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 in worth. You know, they had to sell that car back to the dealership. The polite, humble thing would have done, "Thank you very much." That's often the polite thing. Receive, receive. Don't just give, receive as well. It's part of a circle. If nobody's doing the receiving, there's no giving really taking place. So do receive as well as to give. It's a circle. Buddhists, devout Jews, genuine Christians, upstanding Muslims are all supporting one another and ourselves in these times of trial. And the Buddhist temple and the Presbyterian Church both survived the fires. It just shows these religions work. They all work. They all work. They all work if you use them right. Accept help, and if you can, give assistance. Above all, remember that you are not alone. You're not going through this alone. You are part of a community. You are part of several communities filled with people who care about you. You are part of numerous interlocking communities. There are many people within our Buddhist community and beyond it who care about you, who genuinely care about you, and who continue to offer their support. Rely upon your family and your friends. Rely upon all your communities. And rely upon the Buddha. And with that thought, I will close the Dharma message portion of our service with Gasho. We count on one another. We count upon the realm of enlightenment. We count upon the Buddha. We will persevere. Those who wish, join in a closing Gasho and saying the Buddha's name. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. The program says we were going to have an installation, but we can't have an installation because we haven't voted yet. And we can't vote until our general meeting, so I think we're canceling. Yeah, we'll probably mail out ballots to all the members and have you vote that way. And while I'm talking about members, if you're a member and you did not get your calendar, please stop by the office because we have the BCA calendar. And I think this year's calendar has pictures from almost every temple. And it's kind of nice to flip through the pages and see all of the other groups that are supporting us too. Well, so we're going to sing again. It says, page 136, Namo Amida Butsu. So if you'll please rise again, we're going to sing another song.
When life is fair and sunlight gilds the day, when fortune smiles and flowers adorn our way, oft let us pause with grateful hearts to say, Dabutsu. Even though our way leads neath a darkened sky, and to our loved ones pain and death draw nigh, our tears may flow, yet trustingly we cry, Namo Dabutsu. Thank you very much. Please be seated. And now we're going to have announcements soon, huh? No. So I think most of the announcements are going to be announcing things we're not going to do after all. But I'm always here, so I'm the opposite announcement. I am here if you need anything and you come up and the gate is pulled closed. A lot of times it's going to be pulled closed and not locked. But if it is pulled closed, just knock on the residence. I don't foresee any time in the next month that one of the three of us won't be there. Either my son, my wife, or I'll be there. So we can open up things, we can find what you need. Please do be willing to take some of these supplies next door. Otherwise, we're going to be mailing them to the members at the end of the year. Just if you all get a little box full of Kleenex, you know. Please take what you can use now. If you can use any of those gift cards, we still have about $600 or $800, I think, worth of Target cards. So let me know what you can do, and do turn to us if you can. We appreciate having friends here today who are members, and people who are friends of the temple, and people who just walked in the door. And please turn to your own traditions. The Christian tradition will support you. Judaic tradition will support you. We will support you. There is a sense in all these traditions of touching some goodness in this life and behind this life, and you need that goodness. There is something true, good, and reliable. We have our contact point, Namo Dabutsu. Other religions have their contact point. Find sustenance spiritually, mentally, psychologically, and physically. Come get some goods next door. See you next door.
Thank you, Sensei. And I'd like to acknowledge that Kyoko and Sensei have been here every day and helping out however they can. And today, Sensei, thank you for the service. Kyoko did the flowers, and Kathy and Alan have put together our online streaming service. And Kathy also has to do with our GoFundMe thing. So we are all working real hard, and we appreciate all of the thoughts and well wishes and the donations that we've been getting. Last week we didn't have service, but San Fernando invited us to join their Ho-Onko service on Zoom. So everybody is reaching out to us, and we truly appreciate it. And as Sensei says, we are all interconnected, and the compassion that we feel from all over is just remarkable. Yeah, well, Sensei just said that most of the donations that came a week ago came from San Fernando, so that was nice. And if you know of anybody who has been impacted, please let us know, because we're trying to start a database, and there's a lot of people who aren't letting us know that they lost something. So, right. Yeah, please let us know. And they don't have to be members of the temple. We just want to know who needs help so we can reach out to them also. We have meal services being provided by Little Tokyo Restaurants, the JACCC. And if we know who could use a nice hot meal or a nice home-cooked meal, please let us know so we can reach out to them and add them to our list. But thank you all for coming today. It's a nice chilly morning. Until we get gas back here, come prepared with parkas to come to service. But after today's service, we have light otoki, I think pizza. Kyoko's going to cook up some mochi, and we have donuts. And so a lot of comfort food next door. So please stop by to have coffee and tea. And if you did not offer incense at the beginning, please offer incense now before you leave. And we hope that we could sit and talk with you in the other room, and we can share stories, right? Oh, there is origami tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So if you want to come do origami or you want to take home the kit and do it at home, just let me know and I'll get you your paper.
I do have I have a couple of announcements. First of all, just so that you know, Jeannie's very modest, and the people in the temple are very modest about the efforts that they've been doing this past week to serve the community. We've been having as she said, meals delivered, and our committee that's been working with the restaurants and distributing meals are Jeannie, June, Chin, Shelley Shinmoto, Kathy Mikuni, Kyoko Gibbs, Lori Hatakeyama. Without them, I mean, it wouldn't happen. And our friends at the Pasadena Japanese Cultural Institute, they were outside the red evacuation zone. They're in the yellow evacuation zone. So meals had been delivered down there and distributed from down there. And again, if you know somebody who is displaced or suffering and could use a meal, I think it's going to continue for at least this week. We'll be having meal service here. The fund that people were referencing is a Give Butter Fund that you can find on our website. It's our Eaton Sangha Support Fund. Our initial fundraising goal was $20,000. This is just to support the members of the Sangha. It's not for facilities. This is just a people-oriented campaign. Our initial goal was $20,000. As of this morning, we're close to $29,000. So 140% of our goal. So thank you for everybody who's donated. You can find the link on our website. Share it with your friends and family. I did, and I'm just shocked. My cousins, my high school classmates in Tacoma, Washington, people have been supporting us from, as they said, from near and far. So very grateful for that. We've also been working on the website. There's now a new separate page for Eaton Fire Support. Actually, I don't remember what I called it, but between Jeannie, Lori, me, others, we've been gathering information, and for those members who have their own personal GoFundMe, we've been posting links to that. We'll be posting links to resources in the community for people who have questions about how to get help and aid during this time. Those links will be up there, and we'll continue to update that. And pictures are up there too. And I've not been here, so thank you to everybody who's been taking pictures of how we're trying to recover. So, and as Jeannie said, or Sensei said, there are cancellations coming up. Casino night's been canceled. The silent auctions is on abeyance. But we do have something coming up tomorrow on January 20th. The BWA has a fundraiser at Shaker's Restaurant on Fair Oaks in South Pasadena. You can go between noon and 9. Say you're with the Pasadena Buddhist Women's Association, the BWA, to your hostess or to the server, and 25% of your tab will come to BWA. So drink up, watch the National Football Championships or whatever, or if you'd like to see people from the temple that you haven't seen in a while, come on down and join us. And is there a meal distribution tomorrow? Maybe? Yes. There is a meal. So if you know somebody who might need a meal, let June know, because June's taking names. She's taking names. But we can't put your name down if we don't know, if you have a need. So, and I think I have one last thing. Hopefully we're not broadcasting. Are we broadcasting right now? Have you cut it? If not, I just want to say happy birthday to my husband, Wes. He's 71 today.
Thank you. We're done. Let's go have refreshments.